like canvas. So take your brush and paint it red.
Yo, I'm Nova. Was that intro cool? Yeah, bet it was. Really cool. Right, anyway, warning screen. I'll actually do the intro in a second, so. Anyway, today I'm going to talk about a layer. Again, the violence layer, the most lore-rich, gameplay-heavy, and pump-charged layer ever. But I'm going to start with the gameplay. But before we do that, I'm going to talk about Dante's Inferno. So basically, if you didn't know, Dante's Inferno is kind of like a fanfic of the Bible, but its violence section is split up into 4 parts. You know what else has 4 sections? Yeah, that's right, the Rule 34 page for the Minecraft Creeper. Nah, ultrakill has 4 levels each layer. Turns out, it only has 3, and I'm stupid. Why didn't I just remove that from my script? Okay, Ring 1, violence against neighbors, basically violence against others. Ring 2, violence against self, and then Ring 3, violence against God or in nature. So the actual, like, Dante's Inferno doesn't have this, but let's talk about. This is 3 a.m. Novia, post-editing and stuff. I forgot to say this, but join the Discord and subscribe. The Discord is in the link in the description, and so is a bunch of stuff, so. What do you think of when you hear violence? Blood? Murder? Torture? Well, like most levels, ultrakill, like, is cooler. This is the first level of violence, the labyrinth. When you first step in, you see 3 doors. The one ahead has 6 mannequins. Mannequins are lesser demons with 6 HP and 50% damage taken from explosions. The mannequins were Husk who tried to escape their torture, at one point getting tired and hell rips them apart limb from limb and stuck into the stone statues. They try to control their fate and they lost all control of their body, blah blah blah, you know? But then a skull key thing shows up and you walk back to the 3 door selection. You try to go into the room with the red key, it closes because it hates you. So you go through the other door, going up you see a cross. The cross represents the tree of life in ultrakill instead of actual religions, but more on that later. Then you say a book. Opening the book, it reads,
The unending halls of the garden, so beautifully decorated by the cross, the symbol that angels use for the tree of life. They praise their beloved Father who had planted it and filled us with the dew of its leaves and the nectar of its fruit, that which gives us life courses through our veins. For you, however, our bodies are not a vessel for the blood of the fruit, but its prison, the beautiful guts and gorgeous bone yearn to be shown and seen, splayed under the divine cross of the tree of life. We pay tribute through the art of violence. The world is your canvas, so take up your brush and paint the world red.
That talks about the tree of life again. Once again, more on that later. Then clicking the button that's like on the other side of the room, it tells you a door is opened. Also, right before hearing that, you can hear what kind of sounds like a moo. And going back down into the room with the red skull, you see like 20 mannequins. And once you pick up the skull, yeah, insert that video with the guy who does like the funny thing. Anyways, let's just go to the skull, place it down. There's blood on the walls. Guess we really... I'm not gonna say that. It's already in the intro. Anyways, placing the skull shows a large staircase. Once going down, more mannequins, and you look up at one section and you see mannequins on the walls and stuff, and you get the blue skull for the first time. And there's a virtue at the top, but once killing them, you put the skull down and you enter the room. You hear another moo and you see. Once following the path of the bull, which is what I will call it for now, you fight more enemies. And this is when the game decides to do a cool thing called, after finishing rooms, you unlock ways of opening certain doors to other rooms with the same skull key, which is really cool and awesome. But after placing the final skull key, you step through and going down a tunnel, now in a dark gray area. And once walking through more, you go down another tunnel. And then you see a cart station, similar to 2-4, but once getting on and going forward, you hear it. A cowbell on your left ear, and a cart with enemies on the same side. After killing, cowbells start appearing on the right ear instead, and enemies there too. After killing those enemies, you hear a moo, followed by silence. Then, this is a Minotaur, a supreme demon made by hell itself, or we think it was made from hell and given to Minos, which is most likely why we the Minotaur is similar to the hand fight in 2-4. And the Minotaur reminded Minos of his past and sent them to the labyrinth, banished, running around aimlessly, looking to the sky again one last time. And while fighting it, it has bone-like plates similar to the hideous mask, but on the back it gets somewhere open. And you can cheese the entire fight by just standing on its back and just like repeatedly hitting it. But the music for this fight, I'm not even joking, is so good. Like, goddamn, it's called Bowl of Hell. Go listen to it right now. It's on like my playlist. Holy. But back to the level. After killing it, the cart slowed down, stopping at the end and getting off, walking upstairs and stepping into the room. The light coming in from above and the elevator door. When stepping forward, it opens. The Minotaur broke through the wall in a weaker and more destroyed state. Breaks into the room, not letting you leave, and fighting, trying to escape. As you fight, they die, reaching their hand up for the sky one last time, dying, becoming nothing but blood splayed onto the walls and floor of the white labyrinth. You stopped it right before it could reach its goal, and you leave, entering the next chapter. This is about the first ring of violence in Dante's Inferno. Violence against neighbors. But once stepping out, it looks like the last level, with black and white walls, mannequins, and windows with beaming lights, you know? All the cool stuff. But after doing the hook point challenge, and hearing the fire-ass music, you hear gunshots and explosions from outside. Then when you're about to leave, this is the Gutterman, a grounded greater machine with 30 health as a boss and 25 as a normal enemy, and takes 60% less damage with its shield, and those shields can be broken with the Knuckle Blaster and Jackhammer, also probably some other stuff, but they also have a lot of lore, more on that later, especially in the next level, and the final one. But once killing the Gutterman, you open the door and see bullets and explosions flying, you know, and a large clock tower that ticks, because it's a clock tower. After going onto a platform and fighting all the enemies, the clock tower falls because like something hit it, showing more enemies, and after fighting them, you enter a train station-like area with a bunch of carts all together, and it says, "We need a bigger boom." After killing even more enemies, it opened the gate showing a cart. Riding down, you see thunder, showing earth movers. Earth movers are big, and well, we'll see a lot more of them later. And the cart stops, and one more Gutterman comes in, and you fight it. You can also go onto the top of this building, and you can open up a coffin, and it has a book, and it says,
Mother of me, I know I should not miss you so, but mother of me, I know your pain breathes letters and reverberated in your rusty iron tongue. of your priest that nourished me and warmed me in its terrace. When yours and your will you were all I witnessed. Mother, mother, mother of me, I know you would hate me so, and mother of me, I do too, but I would not feel, not think, not breathe, were it not for you inspire us desire to walk. Your tortured love brought me to this war, that I could take the fear of another, and see you no more. Mother, mother, mother of me, I know your thoughts had left you long ago, and mother of me, I will never truly go, but I hope it redeems my life even just a slight, when I cried and crushed your skull that's in the night.
That talks about how guttermen were the first blood machines used in the long war made by Russia and would tear through soldiers that were in the trenches. And they got fueled from the blood of a person inside of the coffin that's on their back, treating them like their mother due to fooling them. And the one that wrote the poem talks about how it felt its fuel die and crushed the skull to end a guy's suffering. Also more proof that machines have sentience in the lore. But after reading, you can go back down and enter the next little place with your cart. Walk and see a blood river. This is referencing the torture in Dante's Inferno, where people who committed acts of violence against neighbors would be boiled in blood. But after walking some more, you see gutter tanks. A German blood machine, also a very early one, was made to counter the guttermen, breaking their shields with explosions and punching, and had more advanced forms of blood fuel. But they're not that hard to deal with. Literally just freeze your rockets, then make them hit scan with the jackhammer, and then that's it. After killing them, you get a red skull key, and you put it in the room you were earlier after another hook point challenge, and you lower the bomb onto the cart. Also, if you look inside the bomb, you see Hikita, the game creator, watching a video called Fucking Finland. This is because the creator is from Finland. And after placing it down, you ride the cart back. You see a gutter tank and a gutterman, and the gutterman has no coffin, probably hinting to the fact that it's the one who wrote the earlier poem. But after using the bomb for the explosion to enter the final area, you enter a library-like space, which you can just skip, by the way, if you follow a specific path. But you fight more enemies, the bookshelves lower as more spawn in, but after killing them all, the final door opens, showing the elevator to the next level, which will also be the longest assignment, and it's called Alright, before I talk about the segment, I want to say there is mentions of suicide, so if you're not okay with that, please skip to this time on screen. But once stepping out of the elevator, you're in a dark forest with dead trees, and looking at the trees, they have faces. This is due because the level is about violence against self, and the punishment is you're a tree. So, but as you keep walking, you see a little sign thing. Remember that earth mover that we saw earlier? Well, that little scribble is meant to be an earth mover. Yeah. Great, Hikita. But turning left, you see a tree, and hell talks to you directly. Then puppets spawn, when you kill them, the tree gets more red. And once it's full, remember the tree of life I talked about earlier? Well, these are twisted forms made by hell as torture to show violence and celebrate it. They splay their blood and fuel the torture of the soul. That's the tree. Also, this level has a secret level, Hell Bath No Fury, which I will actually talk about. But just make a street cleaner follow you to these little leaves and make them light on fire. Like that book that says in 7.1 that I didn't talk about. because I didn't know about it until after I made that segment. But the blood trees, which is what these are called, they are the opposite of the tree of life, being made from hell, and is basically like a twisted form. Because so instead of giving life, it takes life to fuel itself. But like, the reason hell did this is because this hell goes against God, like making death catchers and fraud, which is basically just a twisted form of the idol, or just idol.exe. Why did I say that? But after fueling the blood tree, it shows 3 skulls above one red, one that you just activated, and you see the name of the level. No sound, no memory. No memory, which is a reference to the song, I'm Coming to the Garden, No Sound, No Memory. Or it's a song, I don't know. I'm getting this from a Reddit post from Piss Jar Gaming. YT. Oh my god, I cannot pronounce anything. But leaving, you see more trees, and also you have a flashlight. And 2 mannequins spawn. Fucking mannequins, my ultrakill game. They show up in every single level in violence, except for the boss. Oh yeah, they frickin' do. But anyway, you enter a different room with water and a few little enemies after killing them all. You enter another room with a blood tree. And by the way, tip for the tree, just use the attractor saw blade launcher. But yeah. But after you leave the building, the sky glows red sometimes, and you can see the earth mover. Like, that guy's close. Like, we're slowly getting closer to him. But anyway, you walk, and wow, you enter a tunnel. Also, if you notice, the enemies are actually fighting each other, not you, until you hit one. But after killing them all, another blood tree. I sure do love my repeated rooms and mechanics, Akita. Except for the cool ones you never brought back. But anyway, hey, no way, the street cleaner, that scared the shit out of me when I recorded this gameplay. But anyway, you're back at the first blood tree. The door opens, showing a place similar to 7-1 in those parts of 7-2. But wait, hold up. Backtrack. Hideous mass. This is one of the 4 times, I think, or 5, you see the hideous mass, which is really cool because this level has more enemies than the last one, and the last one is about endless war. So, yeah. But back to the end of the level, the enemies fight each other. You also get the double thing. Also, you can become marked for death, which makes all enemies actually fight you, which is a reference to the TF2 game. Anyways, after killing them all of them, and activating the blood tree, the elevator door opens, and stepping through, you enter the final level.
There's no discharge in the war. Don't look at what...
By the name of this chapter, you could probably predict it's, like, very scary, and has the hardest challenge of the entire game. I would say gaming history. But first, there's some easy-ass enemies, you know, Sword Machine, Cerberus, there's a hideous bass, blah, blah, blah. Then, no, that can't be it. There has to be more. And you're right. You get to clean! Yeah. It's a cleaning level. This honestly is pretty cool and relaxing, especially in the pool area. Also, there's this guy, and that's Akita in his largest form. And the drink, that's V2. Yeah. But I just want to talk about this because it's kind of funny. In level school, I had some really funny clips of me and my friend talking over the gameplay because we did that. And yeah, the music's good, kinda not as good as Bullet Hell in 7-2, but good. Anyway. Time for the 7-4 segment. I've been waiting for this one. But you enter a dark room like 7-1. Then that's the Earth Mover, aka this guy and that guy. This specifically is the 1000 THR Earth Mover. It is city size, and as you could tell, probably could also level cities as well. But it was the final machine used in the Great War. Kinda, the V models kinda beat them, but that's just a prototype. But they were to counter the counter to the counter to the counter to the counter to the gutter tank, which were the counter to the guttermen. But earth movers ran off of sunlight and blood. But through leveling cities and making nothing but ash left, they blocked the sun, one of their forms of fuel, making it hard for them to run, and survivors would build cities on the backs of the earth movers. We can see that here. So, just like any other machine, they went to Hell for blood, and Hell, being the nice little fella she is, decided to create a whole section for these little earth movers. Earth movers blocking out the sun caused the apocalypse and the war to end in silence. No big bang, just silence. That's why they're the horsemen of the apocalypse. We also know this because of the book that reads,
This is the only way it could have ended. The war no longer needed its ultimate practitioner. It had become a self-sustaining system. Man was crushed under the wheels of a machine created to create the machine to crush the machine. Samsara outside when crushed bone. Death without life, the lower of Moros. All that remained is war without reason. A magnum opus, a gold tower of steel. A machine built to end war is always a machine built to continue war. You were beautiful, outstretched like an endless to even. You were beyond your creators. You were reached out for God, and you felt none were left to speak your eulogy. No final words, no concluding statement, no point, perfect liar.
yeah, but let's talk about the actual level. You start going to the earth mover via the hook points on its front right leg. And actually before that, it looks down, sees you as a threat, and gets cucked. That's not what cucked means. By a different earth mover far in the distance. But anyway, you go into a higher, thin walking area, and two little street cleaners go, herda, herda, herda. Yeah, but you go across the platform, the music changes when you touch the yellow hook point. Oh yeah, I haven't talked about yellow hook points. Basically, when you go ding with it, they start a timer and activate something while that timer ticks. In this specific scenario, it activates the side blood things that allow you to walk. But you go across the platforms, the music changes to the catwalk one, then you fight a sentry. I tend to just charge it back, but you can't just always jackhammer it. Then you go around the corner, a gutterman lands in a bombshell, and you fight them, you know, regular. Probably just like rail coin them or something. Then you keep going, you know, you can see other earth movers in the distance if you look. Specifically the one that's also hitting the earth mover you're on. Then you see the orange pipes. I think these are to transfer the blood to the stomach from somewhere. But yeah, because they're also pretty close to the flaps that leak out blood on the side. But anyway, then a sentry and gutterman come in. Then at the top of the leg, I've seen buildings and a crane. More on that crane later. Then after killing the fellas, the music calms as you walk, and then the security system. The one in the middle has a tracking beam and cannot be hit at the start of the fight. Then on the left and right are rocket shooters. After breaking Two motors come up. They shoot lobbed hell orbs towards you. Then after breaking another rocket or one of the motors, 2 antennas come up, shooting slow tracking hell orbs. They can also be headshot by that little ball. Then after all of them die, the tracking increases on the middle one and you can actually hit them. After it dies, you stand onto the cart and go up. The music is really scary on this section. Then you enter the stomach. The stomach is what keeps its blood, and once dropping in, the interior starts flushing. The earth mover knows you're inside, and breaking up the idols and going up on the vent and into the neck, you see the first magenta attacks. They're not really attacking you, but basically you can't dash through them without taking damage, so you just kind of dodge them. But once going up, this is the brain of the earth mover, the actual boss. It has spinning magenta lines and will shoot tracking orbs at half health. If the bar under it is filled, then 2 idols will spawn across from each other. But after killing it, its timer starts. I think it's about 60 or 70 seconds. 7. I low-key forgot. But you go down in the neck again and reach and enter the stomach, or final area, fighting the gutter tanks and sentries. You leave the earth mover, it shrieking, and then exploding. Blood raining, and then you land, seeing the exit and leave. That is the final level of violence. The layer's over, but wait, that can't be it. 2 weeks for a little 20-minute video? And yeah, you're right. There's secrets, and I want to talk about the music, but that will be at the outro. Okay, I'm not one for like live recordings, mainly because I don't want to say stuff, but I want to do this as in I want to talk about the music as it plays. This is like when it first opens, I believe. No. Plays during the initial. Okay, until they reach, so I was right. It's just repeated. What is that instrument called? It's like ding, ding. Wait, that's just how the song goes. And then for the actual song, you get the conversion. Kinda similar. No, not really. It's pretty cool. The combat theme. This shit is fire. Speaking of fire, we got the Minotaur. So the cowbells, whichever one doesn't have the cowbell in your ear, which I actually got wrong. I said it starts on the left ear. Whichever one doesn't have the cowbells is where the enemies come in first. So yeah, I really like that. Also cowbells, because the Minotaur is a cow. Phase 1. You can hear what kind of sounds like screaming. I really like that because I like metal and shit. I know I like that. That's crazy. And I'm like 3 years old. This one part's really cool. Yeah, and then phase 2. When it breaks and it has that they do that a lot in the game, which is really cool. This part is the best part of the entire song. Then it dies. Okay, I guess it doesn't have the ending cowbells, but it's just like it slowly gets out. Then there's the Do Robots Ever Dream of Eternal Sleep? This is in the second level. It's when you eventually go up to the Gutterman, and then during the first Gutterman fight. It's really cool, actually. I like it a lot. I don't like how it loops, though. It doesn't really loop well. It's meant to go into this, though. Then there's the war ambience, which you hear right before. Yeah, then there's here, the siren song, Call of Death, which is pretty cool. I used to struggle in that level because I was really dumb and I didn't realize it wasn't really a puzzle, but just I didn't know where to do stuff. So I just heard this for like an hour on repeat. This shit was hell. That starting thing, that still gives me like flashbacks to spending like 40 minutes on this level. And then the combat. It's pretty good. I think genuinely the first level and the fourth level have the best music. Oh yeah, I didn't talk about that. Then there's Suffering Leaves. Suffering Leaves. This one's pretty cool. Hey, the title of the song is grammatically correct in a similar manner to the sentence buffalo, 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 which is an example of how homonism, gay people, and homophones, anti-gay people, can be used to create complicated logistic constructs through lexicon ambiguity. Explanation regarding the title's meaning. The first Suffering Leaves means what suffering in case suicide would leave behind. The second Suffering Leaves refers to the suicide trees and it leaves. Oh, it's like, okay. One's like the leaves are suffering, the other is like it leaves suffering. Okay, that's pretty cool. This one's pretty cool. It's when you first walk in and stuff. It's really nice. No, it's after filling up the blood sugar. I don't think anything plays when you first enter the level. It's pretty cool. It's like, it's a lot of string instruments that's mainly in this level. Each one has like their own, this one has like percussion, like xylophones mainly. This one's like, I actually don't know. Probably like, I don't really know. Don't ask me. I freaking quit band. Then, so the conversion. Actually, I use this for all the book segments, I'm pretty sure. Except for, no, I did. And then, also, it was used for the intro of this video. It was Until the World Looks Red. I did. But, it was like, both are really good. Honestly, I think they're pretty underrated. So is the level. The level's probably one of the best freaking levels ever. Yeah. Also, yeah. Alright, now time to talk about the freaking 7-4 one. So, the battle theme of the Earth Mover is, without reason, one of the best songs. If I would say, I'm not gonna say the best song, but with it. This is like when it first looks down and then it gets hit by the other Earth Mover. It's really, this just feels like really iconic because a lot of YouTubers will use it as a song they play, and as soon as I hear the, my brain like, you know, just shitting my pants. Then there's a yellow hook point, which is pretty cool. Honestly, I think it's, yeah, okay, this is the one I was thinking of. It's, honestly, yeah. Then there's a narrow catwalk. It sounds basically the same to the yellow hook point. Buildings, though. I like how calm this is. The defense system. This shit is actually so fucking fire. I was like, I don't really hear it because I play the game normally without sound while watching YouTube. And I was like, okay, buildings, beginning, defense, blah, blah, blah. And I just click on this. Like, it jump scared me. Then entering. I use this for the chapter thing for the 4th level. Honestly, I did it because it was like all spooky. Also, it's like the perfect length. Then there's the interior flushing. We get more of those sirens that we saw earlier with the Minotaur. The brum, brum that we saw. Yeah. Not like the same, but like same idea. Then climbing to the core. This one, it just kind of feels like the last one, like the whole, because I think that's what it is. The core fight. I like this one as well. I don't like how underwhelming the core fight was, honestly. But I don't really know what else they could do. Like, shoot that earth mover. Then the core defeat. You know, okay, that one. Last arena. Honestly, I like this one. It's pretty cool. I think earth mover is the best enemy. This was originally gonna be the best ultrakill layer video, like how I had my other ones here. Like ignore that. You know, best, worst, hey. Then best. The reason it isn't that anymore is because I felt like I was just doing the same thing. Also, this video is so much longer than the other one. But yeah, then, you know, final explosion. That speed up with the that makes my brain like feel so weird, because I don't listen to music like this. Like I said, I like metal, but that's more new for me. So it just like trips me out every single time. Then there's the no countdown, which is the fade out and stuff. So the main levels are pretty cool. The music is, I would say, the best layer of music in the entire game. Don't look at Fraud. Worst fucking layer ever is the only reason it isn't the best, like, act. Literally, I hate 8-3 so fucking much. This song's good, though. This is so good. Wait, no, this is about freaking violence. For some reason it's in the encore section, which tripped me up, because I was trying to find it for the video, like 20 times and stuff, but it's literally just... It's pretty cool. I like it. I think it's nice. Like, I like jazz. Y'all don't know this, but I like jazz. Ignore most of these. These are not for... These, I really like these. Big jazz fan. Obviously. This really feels like that. It gives me good vibes. I like it. Also, where the hell is it? We're not skipping past this. Where is it? Oh, and it's okay. Literally. That is the exact same as the freaking... Okay, maybe not that sick. But honestly, great music. Most of it's in my playlist. Yeah, I think it's really cool. W Sigma Alpha Male Hakita and W Sigma Alpha Male Heaven Piercer. So, yeah. Also, sorry for this video taking 8,000 years. Yeah, Debussy. But, The reason why is I've been doing on and off work. Also, the editing is absolute hell. So, yeah. Well, I'm gonna do the secrets in the outro now, so, yeah. For this, I just want to talk about frickin' secrets, you know, not counting orbs, because, that's not really a secret. In the first level, there's a mannequin with a red skull. You can just pick that up, and then when you get the blue skull, when you put it on, a door opens, you go down, and then the Big John. That means penis.
For those of you who don't get the joke, the joystick is a metaphor for penis.
But this is a pretty easy boss, and when it dies, it has that book that I talked about in 7.2 and 7.3. But yeah, in the second level, a book, which I didn't record, and it shows how you can beat the level without killing a single enemy. And there's a red orb with a Sisyphine Insurrectionist when you get it. Then in the third level, the same thing with the red orb, except it's a hideous mass this time. Then in the fourth level, there's the lost meme on the side of the earth mover, and this little flower. But, yeah. But that's it for the video. Sorry it took like a month, but it's like really cool in like 40 minutes. So yeah, subscribe and join Discord.
Didn't you say you'd be loving me night and day? Or were you fooling? Didn't you sigh every time that we kiss goodbye? Or were you fooling? Didn't you say you'd walk miles for my caresses and smiles? Didn't you phone that you hated to be alone? Or were you fooling? Love is supreme when a couple can plan and dream the way that we do. Love is no guess when you picture your happiness the way that we do. Roses and kitties and such, is that expecting too much? Didn't you say it would happen that way, or were you fooling?
And that brings a close to this rendition of Take Care from Ultrakill. Or should I say, Ross Morgan's Were You Fooling? Pretty short one, I probably shouldn't have put an Ultrakill option in this one, but here you live and learn. Like, sub, usual nonsense, and until next time, I shall be seeing you. Ta-ta for now.